Okay, in that case, I will call to order our special meeting of the Police Commission on May 24th at 7:01 p.m. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, liberty,
and justice for all.
Amen.
Nice.
Okay, so we are having our special meeting to have two new officer candidates presented to us. So I will turn it over to the chief.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having this special meeting. The police department currently has 3 police officer vacancies. And tonight I would like to present 2 tremendous candidates to fill 2 of the 3 vacancies. If approved by this commission, both individuals would attend the Connecticut Police Academy in Meriden beginning June 4th and will last almost 6 months. Upon graduation from the academy, the new officers will train on the job in Simsbury for at least the next 14 weeks after that. So this evening, we are recommending Samantha Rosa, or Sam, as one of our next police officers. Sam was quickly recognized early in the selection process for her superior communication skills. In addition, other strong and favorable characteristics were evident, such as her calm demeanor, her methodical and thorough answers to questions, and contributions to discussions with command staff and various members of the department, her benevolence, and her desire to guide, support, and help others. Sam has a service-oriented work history to include positions as a substitute teacher and tutor for elementary age students, internships with a municipal human resources department and private financial group, as well as a sales associate. Sam recently graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Eastern Connecticut State University with a concentration in human resource management, and she is currently pursuing her EMT certification. Sam is an intelligent, goal-oriented, and conscientious person with a long-standing passion for policing. Please let me introduce to you Samantha Rosa.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Samantha.
Welcome. I will open it up to the commissioners for any questions, but I will kick it off. I'm just curious as to why Simsbury?
I have police officers in my family. So both of my parents are in law enforcement. My dad is retired from East Hartford and my mom is currently at Manchester. So I kind of had an idea of what I wanted based on department size and based on town size. And I knew I wanted something a little bit smaller than their departments. So Simsbury seemed to be the perfect fit where it wasn't too small, yet it wasn't too large. It had enough officers where I could build a more tight-knit connection with my fellow colleagues. And that was really important to me. I didn't want to go to a large department like Hartford where I might not know anybody that I work with besides select few people. So it was the perfect size department. And it also had a large town community where I would still be able to investigate crime and go out and help the community. So that's basically why I chose Simsbury.
Thank you. Okay, commissioners. Mike?
Yeah, I was interested. You're basically from Colchester, or we're from Colchester, or worked in Colchester anyway, for a number of years. And my brother was a school teacher in high school at Lincoln Academy for a number of years there. And so I was interested to see that. It's a good background, good place to come from. But now, I'm going to ask you why Simsbury. Let me ask you an easier one. Why police officer?
So I always loved the idea of investigating crime. I obviously was brought up around it and I was very involved in my parents' careers as much as I could have been as a child. I got involved with some of the trainings my dad organized. He created the minimal facts training with some of his colleagues, and I am in the video for that as like, I think I was 8 years old and they still show it. So I was involved in that training, as well as going to trainings that my mom went to in Houston, in Los Angeles, where she was on the juvenile part of the detective bureau for a long time. So she went to trainings in Houston where there were guest speakers of people that had been kidnapped. And I always thought that was incredibly fascinating, getting to help people that were in those types of situations. So overall, getting to help people, but also I was really fascinated in getting to investigate crime as well.
Thank you. I passed.
Sam, this is Terry. The chief talked about some of your traits. What do you think are the strong traits that you would bring to police work in Simsbury?
I think that my work ethic and my goal orientation are very strong attributes that I can bring to policing, because I think it's very important to try to achieve goals, especially because the goals that you're trying to achieve as a police officer aren't necessarily goals that are necessarily for you, they're for other people. So you want to reach those goals of helping people that are in certain situations. And I think I would be a strong candidate for trying to help people reach the goals that they want to when they're victims of certain crimes.
Thank you.
Nisha or Travis?
Tanisha, go ahead if you desire.
Sure. Hi, Sam. I'm trying to find you on my screen because we moved around. So I have a question for you. So your degree is in business administration, correct?
Yes.
So I'm just curious as to how that's going to translate or transfer over into being a police officer.
So my degree was a very writing intensive one. One of the things that my degree focuses on is writing papers and memos and stuff like that, which I think is very important going into policing, where you're writing reports a lot. So I think that was one way that I thought my business degree could translate. And also I got to interact with a lot of people. I was part of human resources, so I wasn't sitting at a desk just doing certain things. I was interacting with my colleagues and the first selectman in Colchester. So I got to have a lot of interaction with the people that worked for Colchester, which I think is really important as far as getting that interaction and communication skills.
Okay, Travis, if you're ready.
Yeah, great. Good afternoon, Sam. Good to see you. Congrats on your recent degree.
Thank you.
Can you tell me, can you tell me how is your EMT training going? Where are you in that process?
So I am right now, I take my final test on Friday. So I have my last certification test on Friday.
And great. How are you feeling comfortable with the curriculum? And has it been going well for you?
I have definitely kind of struggled with it. I'm definitely more of a math person. Science is not my strong suit. So I definitely had to work a little bit harder in order to retain the materials, but I feel very comfortable right now where I am.
Yeah, great. Okay. You will successfully get through police training. And then what is your intent? Will you move to Simsbury and have a kind of a 5-year, 10-year outlook? Like, hey, I want to be a police member for the next decade, something like that. What are you thinking?
So I obviously live pretty far away from Simsbury, about an hour. So I'm in Columbia right now. So I would definitely like to move in the general area. I've already kind of started looking at apartments in Simsbury. So I'm definitely interested in living in the town. So because it is such a nice town. So that's one of my main goals going into the job as far as my living situation. For my goals as a police officer, I have a general goal right now of just staying in patrol for a while and getting experience on the road. I think that's very valuable, and I think that's very important. So right now, I don't have any set goals for specialty units or when a timeline for exactly I would like to go for promotions and stuff like that. But I do eventually want to go for promotions, but I really want to see and know exactly the specialty units that Simsbury has to offer and talk more with the people that are in them right now, and just mainly get the experience on the road primarily.
Great. Good luck on your EMT exam.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay. I'm not sure how you guys want to do this procedurally. Do you want to speak with our second candidate and then move them to the room that Kelsey has? Or how do we do this on Zoom?
I think that since Samantha or Jeffrey got the benefit of listening to Samantha's questions, I think that we should do the same thing.
I agree.
Sounds good to me. I just want to make sure that it works on Kelsey's end.
Yep, that's fine with me.
Okay, great. So then back to you, Chief.
Okay, great. Thank you. So next, I would like to introduce you to Jeff Vollmer, our next recommendation for police officer. Jeff is currently serving his 9th year in the United States Navy. He is a first-class petty officer stationed in Groton with various responsibilities that include supervision of personnel, care and maintenance of equipment and weapon systems, and management of programs. His duties include inspection of personnel and property, quality assurance, instructing and training personnel on equipment, policy, and procedure. His career is filled with high achievements, success, and service to others. Reviews from his superiors include words such as master, meticulous administrator, dynamic leader, along with descriptions that can be summarized as resourceful, dedicated, highly motivated, and knowledgeable. Jeff has demonstrated additional qualities that we seek for our police officers. He is described as safety-oriented, a role model, responsible, and caring person. He has 20 credits of college that he has earned prior to his entry into the Navy. He's an intelligent person with a history of success. His extensive work experience demonstrates desirable and necessary skills for policing in Simsbury. Beyond his employment, his most powerful characteristics are his compassion and care for others. Please let me introduce you to Jeff Vollmer.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, good afternoon, Jeff.
Thank you for having me.
So again, I will open it to the commission, but first I am going to ask you the same question. Why Simsbury?
Okay, yeah, so, why Simsbury? So when I had my interview with Chief, he asked me the same question. And I told him honestly, at the beginning of my application processes, I applied to, several different departments, and going through the process with Simsbury, I quickly found that the people that work in the Simsbury Police Department are excellent, knowledgeable people. And that's exactly the type of people that I like to surround myself with, especially as a new police officer coming in. It is good for you to learn from people that know their job well, strive for excellence, and that they exude this excellence about them. And it's exactly the type of community and culture that I want to be involved in. And like I said, exactly the same type of people that I want to surround myself with, so I can learn how to do the job as quickly and as efficiently and as professionally as possible.
Thank you. Okay, commissioners.
This is Terry. I'll ask you the same question. What the chief talked about some of your traits. What are the traits that you think you'll bring to police work in Simsbury?
That's a good question, sir. So, there was a number of traits that he had listed off, and I would tell you that I would bring all those traits, to the table for being a police officer in Simsbury. But I would say one of the things that he kind of mentioned my compassion, but I would say my personality, my ability to communicate with people, because there's always different types of situations maybe the person that wasn't having a good day that day, whatever, connecting with people, really, kind of reading the room and understanding, they're coming from this point of view and this is what they're presenting to you. And I believe that, again, my personality and my fairness in every situation that I deal with would allow me to, serve the community, interpret what somebody's trying to say, and give them the best, most professional service that I possibly could.
And thank you for that. And a follow-up, can you describe a little bit what the de-escalation training you went through while in the Navy?
Right. So part of over the 9 years I've been in the Navy, I've worn many hats, from, just joining, to learning, to being a leader, to running a work center, to training newer recruits. So the de-escalation force I had written in there would be for my reaction force training. I was an instructor for my submarine. Basically, part of that job was to teach people that were standing armed watches how to stand a professional watch, an armed watch, and how to conduct themselves on watch. So the de-escalation of force, and escalation of force, going from just being there, your presence, all the way up to deadly force back down. I don't know how versed you are with the steps in the escalation of force, but again, the de-escalation of force would be going all the way up to the worst thing possible, but not having to use it or not having to use it. If you don't have to use it, bringing that back down to a less than lethal or just hands-on or verbal.
Thank you for that.
Have you ever been in a situation of where you've had to use a restraint? And if so, can you walk us through that situation and how it ended?
Okay, so fortunately for me, the type of being on a submarine, the security to get anywhere near the submarine is incredible. You have to go through multiple different checkpoints, present your credentials. So by the time you're actually down on the waterfront, most of everybody that would present a threat to you should have been weeded out, and every time pretty much is weeded out. So on a actual non-training event, no, I've never had to put anybody in restraints. However, we do a lot of training in the Navy, especially security drills. So I have restrained people, searched people, cuffed people that were putting up, a fight, simulated, not simulated, but, we're pretending essentially training. So yeah, I have apprehended, I use that with air quotations, dozens of times, and have instructed people how to do it correctly, more than that. But so for the process of it, obviously, depending on the situation, you might have to take them down hard, or maybe they're compliant and, they listen to your verbal commands. So if they're compliant and listen to their verbal commands, you get them down on the deck. We use zip ties on the submarine, so we didn't have handcuffs. So, I just follow what I was instructed to do. Get their hands behind their back, maybe cross their legs if they're on their knees. Get them down on their stomach. Get them behind their back, cuff them up, and then search them. Their person, to make sure they're not carrying anything on them that can harm you or harm themselves or harm other people.
Okay, Jeffrey, I have a question for you. Hanging on the wall behind you over your right shoulder. Could you tell me a little bit about what that is?
That's just it's a decorative piece. It's just a bullhead, and I have an American flag on top of it.
Okay, I'm just curious.
It's not real.
Yeah, all right. What has driven you to leave the Navy? You had a wonderful career going, and it seemed like a good path for you. What has brought you to the point where you want to change direction and
Right. So it's a tough decision to make, and it's a decision that I never looked forward to making, to be completely honest. When I first joined the Navy back in 2012, I didn't know if I was going to do 20 years or do my 5 years and get out, or most people don't know they're going to do 20 years when they first join. So my decision to get out was made just about 3 years ago when I came back to Groton. And my reasoning behind it is during the 5 years that I was on the USS Kentucky, you miss a lot of things with your family. You're away a lot and you don't get to see anybody from your family too often. So my main reasoning behind why I'm making the decision to get out is I want to be more available to spend time with my family and my wife, and hopefully start a family of my own too.
Have you thought any more about furthering your education while you're pursuing a new career?
Yes, sir. Yes. So, like Chief said, I have college credits, and I actually earned quite a lot of credits while I was in the Navy. Most of the schooling I've done, and just making rank too. There's multiple different ways that the Navy affords you to accumulate college credits. So as of right now, I just have to take a couple more classes to get my associate's degree, and I fully plan on doing that. However, right now my focus is on doing this. So that would be something that I'm definitely interested in pursuing, down the line.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Jeff, Travis here. Congratulations on becoming a first class.
Thank you.
And I see, you've got a pretty good security background from the Navy. Can you tell me about any deployments that you ended up making in the Navy, and then why the is your security background the obvious leap to law enforcement post Navy?
Right. So I was on the USS Kentucky. It's a ballistic missile submarine. So I've done 4 deployments with them. Anywhere you're out basically close to in a year, anywhere between 5 and 6 months. And then as far as my security background, making for that being the leap into law enforcement, I wouldn't say that's necessarily true. I'm not following the training that I was received. My interest in law enforcement stems from when I was a child. When I was a kid, I always knew 2 things. I wanted to join the military, and I wanted to become a police officer one day. So the Navy background is just part of who I am, and then how I feel about becoming a police officer is the other part of who I am. Did I miss anything?
No, I like that. Good stuff. Congrats on a good Navy career.
No, good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions?
I do not.
Okay. In that case, Kelsey, if you could use your magic.
You got it. Jeff and Sam, you can stay right where you are, and you'll be back in the room in a couple minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, they're gone.
That's not bad. Okay, I will open it up for discussion. Start with Sam, since we spoke with her first. Comments, thoughts, questions?
Chief, any concerns during any of the process for any particular reason? Obviously, she's trying to be an EMT. I'm sure she'll make it just because she presents well. I'm sure she has the study habits. Anything from her background or from your conversations that give you any pause?
Nothing whatsoever. And it's really nice to see the interest in the medical field, because, we go to 1,800 medical calls a year. And what are an additional service having that greater amount of knowledge will be for her. not just for those that she serves, but also for her coworkers, for herself, and for her family. I have no reservations with Sam whatsoever.
Thank you.
Mike or Tanisha or Travis, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, Chief, I think you've hit the jackpot here twice, and congratulations. I think there's some very good folks that you put before us here, and I, for one, am all for them proceeding.
I agree with Mike. I appreciated Samantha's family's history in law enforcement, so that she kind of has an idea of what she's getting into. And I appreciated Jeffrey's long naval career, giving him some security background as well.
Well, a lot of his security background is just the fact that he was on a submarine, and everybody has a security clearance there because you have to. I appreciated his answers on the de-escalation training and the fact that he had been through it, so he understands it, which is now a very big part of everyday police work. So I was very glad to see that experience in his resume. And I appreciated Tanisha's question about that also.
Yeah. Yep.
I agree with your comments, and both individuals seem to be bright and humble and eager to be a part of a good organization. So I give a thumbs up to both. Thanks. Nice job, Chief.
Thank you. Yeah, and if I may, humble is a great way to describe both of them. And I had said that I had no reservations with Sam whatsoever, no reservations with Jeff either. And in further talking with him, he doesn't sell himself quite as well as has a tremendous career in the Navy and all the things that he has done. It'll be very interesting to see, where he takes this in a police career.
Well, he understands the chain of command, Chief.
He does.
All right. Any other thoughts, discussion?
I have one little quick, not really a question, a comment to Chief. You only get 1,800. I was on a phone call today, and Hartford gets 11,000 of those calls a year.
I'm sorry. What calls for medical calls?
Those medical calls, they get
Yeah.
11,000. Those are the ones that are not like acute.
Right. Yeah. So with us, we're the first responders, unlike Hartford, where they have, obviously a full-time medical crew. But yeah, 1,800, and we go to all those. Yeah, big difference.
And as a former member of the Ambulance Association, I appreciated seeing the police car first when I rolled up with the ambulance.
Mm. Yeah.
All right. In that case, I will entertain a motion.
I'd like to propose a motion to approve both candidates, Samantha and Jeffrey, to be whatever the technical term is as far as joining the Simsbury Police Department and heading to the academy on June 4th.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. In that case, Kelsey, if you could welcome them back.
I sure will. All right, they're back.
Okay. Samantha, Jeffrey, on behalf of the Simsbury Police Commission, I would like to say congratulations and welcome you both to the Simsbury Police Department.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. This is going to be fun.
We look forward to seeing your faces.
Oh, yeah, likewise. Yes,
Yeah,
very much so.
thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right. Well, as that was our only business this evening, I will entertain any motion.
I'd like to move at this time that we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? In that case, the meeting adjourns.